Welcome back again. Um, to the third time I'm recording this, something kept on going wrong. So, welcome back. Right. So, I've been away for a bit, and now I'm back. Let's jump into it. So, we're gonna do passing down masculinity, right? Another one of the normal Mr. Nice Guys. Passing down masculinity. You are the model. You are the model for this. You are the model for the next generation. You are the model that passes on or passes down the masculinity, whether that is to the sons, daughters, whoever, right? Let's go to the next one. Okay, so we're gonna start with society, women's approval, where children learn, abandonment issues, right? So we know Dr. Glover talks about this in his book. He talks about how our sons and our daughters are growing up in a world without a masculine role model or example in their lives, right? So this part of the book hit me pretty hard, or it resonated with me a lot because I have a son. My son is a year and a half or a year and 6 months, roughly, and he's gonna grow up in a system similar to what I did, if not, or actually not, in a system worse than I did. Right, the system is now completely with everything that's going on, social media, everything that's happening. It's worse. It's a much more crazy world than when I grew up. So it's a world where we depend on even more depend on women's approval, right? As boys, we learn, we go through the school system and we learn, we get indoctrinated with how to seek women's approval. Firstly, that is the first place it starts. Um, and you get indoctrinated with what society wants you to believe is real or right or true, which is generally not a good thing. Right? So, plus, if you incorporate the new style of learning now, schools are kind of over. Schools don't work anymore, in my opinion, because you've got AI, you've got YouTube where you can learn stuff, courses online. So it's all going to the new system of designing your own curriculum per se. Learning everything you need from the internet, actually, not so much from school as much as before. I know it's changing now, it's shifting, but anyway. So you so most children, boys and girls, will go to kindergarten, and they will be indoctrinated with how to act and become essentially a sort of an NPC, because generally or most places just put the kids in front of TVs, and we know for children under the age of 7 that is not a good idea. You know, they cannot. They are a massive sponge, so they cannot discern what is real, what is not real, what is going on. Adverts, all sorts of things that come up. They just suck it all in. Um, Plus, YouTube and stuff is fries your dopamines, the colors and everything. But anyway, that's another topic. So they become a sort of an NPC, which is an NPC is a non-player character, a non-playable character. Sorry, and in the lower levels is all female. So kindergarten is female, which, just a note, I agree with. It is supposed to be all female from there. Men are not designed to look after the kids there. Females are, or women are, essentially more nurturing, loving. So that's their spot. They should be there, right? And how to say this? There are women in kindergarten or the lower levels who don't want to be there. They are not invested in nurturing the child. They are there because they get paid. and it's what they can do, right? So they will not really pay attention, not really give it their all for the kids, and most of them will put the kid in, either ignore the children or put them in front of a TV, whatever, right? And your kids will have to placate, or my son included, will have to placate to them. Will have to somehow make sure that they are pleased, so that they will get looked after, or they'll get the food or whatever. Not saying that they will withhold food, but in the child's brain, this is how it's going to work, right? So they'll start to learn how to get their approval from women there. Then another issue is abandonment issues, right? Now, most people don't think about this, or how is it? Ignore it, right? It's glaring in their face, but they ignore it. Go on the internet, watch videos of parents dropping their kids off and picking their kids up from kindergarten. Just watch how the kids react. So this will create an abandonment issue from being left there without their parents, right? Even in the studies, even if you leave your child with another family member, that is better than leaving them at a kindergarten. This will create a belief that they are bad, and that's why they have to go there. This is an unconscious belief. This is not. It will not be in the front. It's an unconscious belief. So they'll hold this unconscious belief with them throughout their life, right? And in primary level, there are generally no male role models. Generally, obviously, you got the PE teachers. From my experience, they are kind of the models. Not the best of models, not all of them, but some are. But the normal teachers, I would say, are not really masculine role models. Um, you would say they're more of the academic type, right? They don't really exercise. Yeah, they're a bit soft, in my opinion. Um, I used to be one of them, so take it with a pinch of salt or grain of salt. Let's see what else. So Dr. Glover addresses this in his book because, like I said at the start, you will become, when you are a recovering nice guy, right, you will start to create better examples of masculinity as you learn these things, as you work through them, and through that you become a better model for your sons or your daughters or whoever to follow, right? So for your sons, they will follow this example of masculinity. For your daughters, they will look for this in their future husbands or boyfriends. So it'll be great to give them a proper example of a masculine man and like how men should be. Yeah, you'll give them better examples. Another thing I wish to do, just a side note here, is I want to do something from history or from the tribes. They used to have a coming of man ceremony. So I would like to create this coming of age ceremony for my sons, to break their bond with their mother, in a sense, and enter the world of men. We don't have this in society so much anymore, and I think that's also what creates a lot of problems. Is there's no official way for men to realize that they are, or boys to realize that they've become men, or now is the time to become men. Um, most people go through their lives, and they, myself included, you are a 30 year old man child. You're not exactly a man yet, right? So I would like to create this ceremony. It'll probably be something along the lines of go camping for the night by yourself out in the forest or whatever. It'll obviously be controlled. I mean, I don't want to necessarily put him in the most dangerous of places, but it'll be controlled. They'll look after him for safety. He survives the night. He comes back. Right now, you're initiated into manhood. Now you start to learn to become a man. Right? Examples like that. Let's check the next one here. So another thing is, I combine this because I in the previous slide I did say something about this, but you know, you have amazing chance, a great chance, a great opportunity to show kids or your kids or any young person that lives around you what a healthy masculine man actually looks like, right? And we know that daughters more often, or daughters do. Daughters use their fathers as a blueprint, right? So they what to look for in a man or what not to take in a man. They learn from their father. So they learn what a man is or isn't by your example as a father. They'll most likely choose a husband of what they learn from their fathers. So most, if not all, will compare their husbands. Your daughters will compare their husbands to their fathers, and whether it's positive or negative, it doesn't matter. They will compare. So it's either I want nothing like my father, or I want the opposite of my father, or it is I want something along the lines of my father. So it can be a positive and it can be a negative. So the things you teach as a masculine man, or the things that you communicate or you show is how to set boundaries. The way you communicate with others, with at work, um, with your male friends, with your wife, with your kids, with whoever, right? The way you communicate sets a standard, and the way you interact with your male friends, how that goes, then she'll know that. So this will all become, as Dr. Glover calls it, an integrated man, and how an integrated man can get his needs met. So it'll show how you as a masculine role model man shows up and gets all your needs met in a positive way, not in a passive aggressive or whatever way, right? And this is a massive advantage if you think of it. Even a privilege. I mean, most people are calling these all these privileges and things. This is also can be a privilege. Some people don't have these examples, so it's later in life they have to learn it themselves. And you know, whereas if your kids get it, it could be considered a privilege, or it's an advantage, right, on the chessboard. So you can give your sons and your daughters. I would think a daughter would need it the same, or if not even more than your sons, right? Yeah. Because they marry into another family. Um, well, depending on your culture, but I think for my culture, it's the daughter marries into the husband's family. Um, so the social dynamics women face in the world is just different. So it will give them a better understanding of how to judge people, proper men, right? And this will give them an edge over the rest of boys and girls, right? As you as you can see, most of the time in this world, like you have a conversation with someone, most people, they don't actually think for themselves. The amount of conversations I can have with someone, they don't think for themselves. They just regurgitate, and I am partially guilty of this in some cases. Um, I have come aware of it now, and started seeing and not just blurting out everything I hear. So they just regurgitate whatever the TV or social media says for the week or the day. So when you create someone who is not an NPC, this gives your family a huge advantage, right? Gives them a huge advantage. They can think for themselves. They don't just follow the narratives, right? And at the end of this, okay, so Dr. Glover gives an exercise, which is generally positive thing. So think of young boys in your family or community, right? So just think of the young men around you, um, in your space. Do they that do not have a masculine role model, right? They do not have a father in their lives. They do not have a masculine role model. Right? Just write down a few things you can go do with them, think about it, go through a few things. I don't know if you have the opportunity. If you can, go do these things with them. That would be great. Um, but otherwise, just do think of it in right sense. So build something with them. Do some woodwork. Build cupboards. Build a desk. You can go fishing. You can go rock climbing. Take them to the gym. I mean, maybe you like cooking, or maybe they like cooking. Take them to a cooking class. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a man cooking. In my opinion, men should learn how to cook for themselves, um, how to make a meal, how to prepare everything. So any activity, just some kind of activity, you can also create a positive influence in their lives, right? So again, so just write it down. If you want, you can reach out to them. It's up to you. Um, that's it for this one. It was kind of quick, as I said. I did have to run out a bit of time. It failed on the other ones, but yeah. So that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think down below, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.